Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Eve, this is Everyday Artist, and welcome. If you're new to my channel, this is a Flosstube where I talk mostly about cross-stitch, but I do talk about other things like sewing and quilting and painting and knitting, other things I might be doing. And Rogue is here, but she's still kind of mad at me for being gone for a few days. Huh? Yeah. We just got back last night from Albuquerque from going to see the Bloom Fiesta, and what should have been a 7-hour drive turned into a 12.5-hour drive, which I was driving. And so I just couldn't get moving today. I was like, oh, I have to do this and this and that. Yeah, no, I'm not doing any of that. I'm resting my brain. And what it was a road, one of the roads that we could take here was closed due to a bad accident. And the other main interstate was bumper-to-bumper traffic for hours. I mean, what should have been 2 hours was much, much longer. So, yeah. But, you know, I met interesting people at the rest stops, you know, because anytime, any port in a storm, after you've been stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic for a few hours, you know, you're like, I gotta stop and move my legs and stuff, and, you know, you gotta just go with what's going on. I am filming around noon, so the light is coming in weirdly. But my sister Beth also wants to film today, so she normally does Saturdays, and we weren't here. So if you haven't had a chance to, go see our Three Sisters creative video where there will be more pictures that I'm going to show you here of New Mexico and the Balloon Fiesta. So I have some whips, and I have, I did do some work on quilting, but I didn't bring it over here because it's just sewing around a 5-inch square. It's very boring. I haven't made anything with it yet. This is my episode number 54. And it is October 11th. So the first thing is, I finished this last week before we left, but I didn't get a chance to put it on the Etsy site until today because it was very late when I finished it, and I was going to do it on Thursday morning right before we left, and I just had other things I needed to do. So this is a project bag. It's called Black Cats and Jack-o'-lanterns on the Etsy site. Has this cool, it looks like trees. I don't know. Do you think they're haunted trees? I have no idea. But I really like that pattern. And this is the matching Notions pouch. Notions pouch has this little angry kitty, and the project bag has this pumpkin. And they're up on the Etsy site if you care to go look for them. We have other Halloween project bags and Halloween scissor fobs. I don't think I showed the Halloween scissor fobs here. I don't remember. I've slept since then and I'm really tired. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with my whips. I only took 2 with me. Well, technically I took more than 2, but one that I intended to work on the whole time. And so I'll talk about that one last. But before I left, I fixed the mistake I had made on the door and the lights. I think when I changed it the last time, I thought it was in the wrong place and it was in the right place and something else was off. I don't know. But it's looking good now and I'm happy. So, but I am going to put black in the windows since I'm using a blue cloth. And then I finished. You can't sit here with me if you bark. I finished the flower on this. If you see a thread through there, it's because I haven't cut the thread yet. I was back stitching and I don't know, I guess I got interrupted. I didn't even show you the pieces. I'm sorry, I'm so tired. So this is the Stitching with the Housewives and To All of Good Night, the first one I showed you. And instead of stitching it on black, I'm stitching it on 14 count Aida that I dyed myself. I wanted it something that was really dark blue, but not navy blue, with a little bit of interest in it. And this is CrossStitchingForFun's Art Deco Spring. And the flower I just showed you is this one. And, sorry, my needle minders are sticking together. This flower, to me, it doesn't really look like that flower. And I don't know why this is backwards, but I'm just following the pattern. But, you know, when you look at it this way, it's correct. But when I show it to you here, I guess it still is. But it doesn't, to me, it doesn't look the same. But it's probably just the printer. I really like the bees. I hate bees in person. I have to tell you a funny story about bees. So one of the things we did while we were there, my sister's birthday was yesterday. So on Friday, we went to her favorite restaurant. Hi, I'm back. That was an important phone call. So we went to my sister's favorite restaurant for her birthday, even though it was not yet her birthday. And that was because we were going to be traveling yesterday, and you know we wanted to do that. And she's been very lucky to go back to New Mexico and celebrate her birthday there because she just, you know, we all love our hometown. So we were a large party, and because it was the people that came with me to Albuquerque, plus some relatives that were there, and that included my two aunts, my cousin, and my brother, plus all of us. And so they sat us out on the patio. Beautiful day. It was so nice. And there were bees. There was a bottle of honey that somebody had stuck on the little wall beside where we were sitting. Because when you get your meal, they bring out a basket of sopapillas and a bottle of honey. We hadn't gotten our meal yet, but there was honey from the previous person sitting on the wall. And the bees were all over it, like, hey, this is mine. And it wasn't just one or two bees. They were all over. So we had to have the server remove it for a while. And then later on when we got our sopapillas, we got fresh bottles. And because they bring like a ketchup bottle full of honey because they're fresh cooked sopapillas with honey. It's fantastic. Anyway, the bees were floating around us most of the time that we were eating. It was a little disconcerting, but you know, we need our bees. We like honey, so. And then while I was the rest of the week, I was working on Tinymodernist. I got the final clue. This is the whole thing. And I am still on August. Yeah. And I thought I'd be done with August and on to September by the end of the week. But, yeah. Anyway, this is, I think the last time I showed you, I don't think the moon had a face. It might have. And I think I did this word "the" since then. And so I have to finish this bat and then this this gray. But the gray goes down all the way on both sides. So I thought I would just go ahead and do the gray on both sides after I finish this bat and get it all completed. And then undo the inside parts. But Thursday, after driving there, I didn't get a lot of sleep on Wednesday night, Thursday morning, and then I drove half of the way. And I had gotten up very early on Thursday. I often don't sleep well, and I was really tired, and I wasn't in my normal stitching space. So it was hard for me to even get started doing anything. And then, people talking to me and stuff like that doesn't normally happen. I don't know what I did on this bat, but when I went back and looked at it, I was like, that's not right. So I had almost finished this bat, and I took it out and started it again correctly. And then I said, I don't feel like working on this anymore. And I had taken my little bag that has my projects that I can take with me when I'm doing something out of the house, like waiting for somebody at an appointment or something. And I looked at the Black Halloween series, which is what I intended to work on if I wasn't working on Tinymodernist, and I just didn't want to. I was like, I don't want to. So on Friday we had gone everywhere. My aunt wakes up very early, and I was staying with one of my aunts. She wakes up very, very early. And I was staying with her, and I got up to go to the bathroom, and so she figured I was up, so she started talking to me. And she turned on lights and, turned on the TV and went and made her coffee, and I'm up, And then we went so many places that Friday. My nephew thought he had packed his shirts, and they were sitting at home. And so we had to go by Target to get, and I bought some stuff at Target, which I'll show you in a minute. That, and then we still had some time before we were going to go meet at El Pinto's, the lunch that I was talking about. And so we went to, I don't remember what order we did it, but we went to Quilt in Corrales. We went to Wagner's Farm, which is, they grow and it's a farm. And they sell quite a few pumpkins and apples and stuff like that, but they also roast and sell green chili. And right here, I will insert some pictures of the green chili and stuff like that from Wagner Farms. And I bought roasted green chili for my son because he loves New Mexico chili. And then at Quilt I resisted. The things I wanted were stuff that was just way out of my budget. And I almost bought it anyway. There was a quilt that was designed that had Native American patterns on it, and it was so beautiful. And I just really, really wanted it. And then, but I didn't get it. And then we went to Joann's, and because my sister had to stop at her luggage was falling apart, so she went to get something to put her stuff in. And there was Joann's right next door, and I went, and I got a little something there. I'll show you in a minute. And then we drove to a yarn shop up in town, and I was so tired by the time we got back and everything. And I tried to stitch, and I got a tiny bit up here done on Joyful Snowman. This is Joyful Snowman. It's a Dimensions kit. And then yesterday, when we got back, I finished up what I was doing here, and I didn't feel like working on this light thing that was so hard to see, so I worked on a brown thing that was hard to see on this bunny. But I needed to take a break from Halloween. So those are my whips. Now, before I left, I found a smaller pumpkin at Hobby Lobby. Yay. And while we were at the Balloon Fiesta, my sister bought one of these in a different color. It's a poncho with it's a blend of alpaca and something else. Anyway, isn't it cute? They had all kinds of beautiful things there. And the guy there was a salesman, and he was saying whatever he thought he could say to make you buy it. And I was like, yeah, I'm not buying a pillow that's $100. It's hand embroidered. If I want a hand embroidered pillow, I'll just take one of my pieces and make it, right? They were beautiful. And I had looked at it and asked him if it had been something a little bit less than $100, I might have thought seriously about it. And he kept saying, well, how low does it have to be before you buy it? I'm like, you're not going to make it low enough where I'm going to want to buy it, because I wanted the poncho. And then at Target, sorry about all the crinkling, but I brought it over here. And I forgot some patterns that I need to show you, so I'm going to have to pause here in a second. But at Target, I found this. And a little tractor, I mean. Why are you barking? And a truck. I don't know why, but I needed them. And then I am going to insert a picture of this blown up. I bought this at the Balloon Fiesta. I love aliens. I deflated it so that it would not get popped and stuff, but it's an alien that looks like a hot air balloon. There was and if I can find a picture of it, I might insert it. There was an alien hot air balloon. I don't know if it still exists, but because the balloons, they normally go off in waves. The Dawn Patrol goes off first, and that is before it's light out, and then they weren't able to go up because the winds on the surface were very, very still, but up where they would be flying, the winds were very rough, and they were afraid that they're very, very safety conscious with this balloon fiesta, and they don't have very many accidents because of that. I mean, accidents happen, but so they weren't allowed to go up, but they were allowed to inflate. And if I can figure out how to show a little video of them flickering, it's just so cool. But if not, I'll just put a picture of that. But not all the shapes blew up, because special shapes have a harder time in any kind of wind. They can get very easily damaged because they're not shaped in the regular balloon envelope shape. So I didn't see the alien balloon. It might not exist anymore. I haven't been to the Balloon Fiesta in a long time, but if you get a chance, you should go. You'll love it. It's always the first Saturday of October through the second Sunday, and all week long in between. There's stuff to do. Anyway, I also remember I mentioned I went to Joann's, and I saw these Junior Jelly Rolls, and they have gnomes on them, and little deer and trees. And I bought a matching 1-yard cut, because I got that triangle in, and I'm excited to use it for things. Now, I am going to have to, sorry about the crinkling, pause, because I was looking at the patterns that I bought at not Quiltole. We went to the Stitcher's Garden cross-stitch shop in Albuquerque. It's fabulous. They have so many things that I hadn't seen in ours. Of course, there was a lot of the same and all that, but I need to show you these patterns. So at the Stitcher's Garden, it's not as tight with stuff as as the attic is, but they do have a lot of stuff. And they had these. I had in my hand some patterns that I heard of and seen, and was going to buy one, and wasn't very much money what I was going to spend, but I was just kind of looking around, and I passed this rack, and then she showed me the displays that she had, the models. I have since moving here really started to appreciate, I always have liked them, but more so the Native American designs that you see on their pottery and rugs and sand paintings and stuff. And they had some patterns that were finished in these things. This is pronounced Yay. It's a Navajo deity. And she puts on, not on this one, it's rugs of the Southwest, so they had different rugs. But this was my favorite one. I wish I could afford to buy all of them. Maybe one day I will. I'm sorry if there's glare, but I don't want to take them out of here. It's too hard to get them back. Now, each of the tribes has different symbols and shapes for their pottery. And so on this, this is the Pueblo Pottery series, and this one has, you can see there, it has Santa Clara, Acoma, and Hopi. These are wedding vases. What is it called? Anyway, it's two joining as one, two tops joining as one. And we have, in our house, we have one very much like this one. It's not the same exactly, but it's only like this big. And my dog broke one that was like this. So that's 3 separate patterns in there. And this is 3 Hopi designs. And I like Cocopelli. Right here, they didn't call him Cocopelli. They called him flute player or something. But let's see if I can get less glare. Aren't they beautiful? And on the back of these, there's a history. So my sister bought a lot of these as well. So between us, we have 12, I think, of the little pottery things. And I was like, you know what? I'd really like to stitch them together on a big piece of fabric, and in a different color. Maybe they use a lot of teal. They use a lot of black, and then of course they use these natural colors here. Put what Pueblo is, that the pottery is from, and then I might even copy the information on the pottery, just this part, not all of this, that talks about the pottery, so that when I frame it, I can put it inside the frame somewhere, so that is with the pieces. She does a lot of others, and I met, when I lived in Albuquerque, I met people that would make this pottery. We never bought any, but we did have some, because it was given to us by the artisans. And they're so beautiful, and I was so happy to see those things. It's not something I'm going to get here. And at Quilt Olay, that pattern that I really liked was designed by a Native American from there. So, excuse me. That's all I have. I am going to insert some pictures of the balloon fiesta here. Yeah, I hope to see you again next week. Thanks. Bye.